Your superstore dataset already had the answers, but they're hidden inside the columns. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you how to create new features in Excel that reveal patterns your raw data can't. And that is what we mean it as feature engineering. So feature engineering is the process of using the raw data to create, select and modify input variables, which we call it as features, so that our predictive analytics, when we have to perform with the machine learning models that we are talking about, they can learn the patterns more effectively. Its main goal are to improve the model accuracy, boost efficiency, and help the algorithm make better predictions. So the key process that we follow with, we create new features, right? Okay, then we clean the data, then we transform it, and then we do feature selection. But for better accuracy and for better accuracy of this algorithms or patterns that we want the model to learn it fast, efficiently, right? This is why it is very important for us to do feature engineering. Now we can see this data clearly here, right? This is superstore data set for which we have order ID, date, shipment mode, segment, city wise. Then we have this country wise data, right? That is available to us. Given all these products, subcategory, products name, and even sales data, quantity, discount, profit, right? But specifically, if you ask me that somebody is going to say that, okay, tell me on 5th of January 2023, how many number of orders or how much sales is generated. That is not how it functions, right? Whenever we have to do this, we call it as descriptive. We give a summary. Descriptive analytics will give the summary of this data, right? So somebody asked me, if somebody asked me, then they will be more knowing to understand, okay, tell me year-wise analysis or month-wise analysis, right? That is what they will be more looking towards it, okay? So from the existing column, we are trying to generate a new column. Like from the order date, I want to find out the year, right? Okay. But before that, I would also like to do one thing. I would like to keep it in the general number format, right? Because order date is in date format, right? And let's suppose if I'm going to generate the year, if I'm going to apply the year and generate the year from this date, I'll get in the form of a date format, right? But it should be in the general format or it should be in the number format if we really looking forward to it, right? So that's how we'll apply it, okay? So using this, you will see that we have applied the year and we extracted the year wise. The year wise we can do the analysis. And similarly month wise, I can also use month function, but that is going to return me a number from 1 to 12, right? Okay, specifically. Like from here, if I want to do that, it will generate a number. It will generate a number, right? Which I do not want it, right? I want in the form of January, February, March. For that, we can do one thing here. I can use a text function, which I can apply on the date, and I can get in the form of MMM, which is month format. And you clearly see now we have got the data using the text function. They all belong to 0101, so I'll got here is January and similar kind of things, right? So feature engineering simply means creating useful new columns from the information you already have, okay? And that's how we applied the year and text function, right? Using this, we'll be able to generate that. So similarly, somebody says that, okay, tell me the profit margin, how much you have generated, right? Okay, so that is what I want to also know, okay? So year, maybe it can be year wise, month wise, whatever the analysis they want. From the existing column, I am looking to get more new columns that I want, right? That is the reason I will be using this, okay? So another thing. Now, if you ask me, does somebody told me to calculate all those? No, it's the responsibility of data analyst. Now, what information can be important for us, right? From the data that we already have, from which we can get a better solution, okay? So that is why data analysts spend most of the time thinking, doing analysis, or cleaning the data and doing all those things, right? That's why it is very, very important, okay? So let's talk about another thing. Yeah, we want to generate the profit margins, right? For this, we need sales and profit, and for that, what we are going to do, like what is my profit margin? Obviously, it will be depend upon the sales that we have done, right? Okay, so whatever the sales that we have, whatever the sales that we have got on the profit, right? That is what we want to calculate. So it will be your profit divided by your total sale. That will give you the margin, right? Okay, that on this amount of sale, this is the profit we have generated. So this is going to be my profit percentage, right? But it's representing here in the form of points. So for that I can use in the number bar, I can use the percentage style and I can represent the data in this way, and similarly I can drag it over there, right? Okay, so you clearly see here that we have done a profit of -5 on this. That means a negative profit that also generated, right? Okay, so profit, because profit alone does not tell us the company story, complete story. Profit margins tells us how significantly or if efficiently we are generating the profit from the sales, right? And even we can also get revenue, that how much we are generating, right? Okay, per item, that we can also calculate, right? For this we need sale and quantity. Okay, so for this we need sales and quantity, right? Okay, so for example, this is the total sales that we have got after selling two quantity, right? So revenue per item would be equals to the total sales that we have got divided by the quantities that is been done. Okay, so we have created another column here, another useful information that helps us in understanding the revenue generated per item sold. Okay, so that is what we followed. And similarly you see here discount is given, right? Okay, but if I want to understand also, right, that in which category of discount we have given, like it's a low category or a low discount we have given, right, or high discount we have given, or medium kind of discount, then we can also use here our if that we have learned, right, the case, and using that we can generate a new column, right, that discount level. Okay, like for example here, if I'll say that just assuming from my side, obviously I'll talk to the stakeholders and then we decide this, because if you go to the starting of this series, you will understand that whatever the process that we follow, right, cleaning, processing, in that, right? Okay, then followed from descriptive to diagnostic, in the entire process we go through some different stages, right, where we clean the data, we understand the data, right, and we create some boundaries, we assume something, right? So here I need to assume that for how much level of the discount I want to keep, right? For example, if I'll say that this is my field V, right? Okay, so if V2 this is the field, right, this is the discount, if V2 equals to 0, that means we can clearly say that there is no discount which has been given, right? I think that we can say it. Okay, then we can also put another conditions here, right, because we want to create few more levels here. If the same field that we have V2, right, if the value is, let's suppose I'll say less than equals to 20%, right? Okay, for that we have to get in this form, right? Okay, let's suppose if I say less than equals to 20%, and for that it is given in the form of points, so you can just mention here 0.2, right? Okay, so I will consider it as a low. Similarly, if I'll say same V2, for the value of this V2, if I'll say that this is less than equals to 0.4, right, I'll say that this is of a medium category of a discount which has been given, right? Okay, and if it is not, then the whatever the value is greater than 0.4 will be considered as a high, right? That is our last condition. Okay, so based upon that we have got our data and we can just drag it, right? Okay, and we'll see that whether the discount has been given or not. Like for these fields 0, you see no discount is given, right? That is much more helpful to us. Okay, so this is the process, that instead of just waiting and wasting our time, right, and so we'll create these kind of useful information from the given data, we extract it, and that's how we perform feature engineering. But these features are just not the beginning, right? In the part 2 of this video, you are going to use the Excel to the engineering features that identify loss-making orders, high value of customers, and potentially dangerous discounts, right? And that's where feature engineering gets really interesting. Okay, so that's it from my side. So follow Mindexcite for more such videos. Thank you.